Hello, hello, hello. This is Rose Hennessy with the Wisconsin Coalition Against Sexual Assault, and I'm here with Dr. Pat Stevens, a researcher at the University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee. Thanks so much for being a part of an interview today and letting us talk a little bit about qualitative research. We're going to focus on focus groups, no pun intended. So just to start it off, what is a focus group?
Well, thank you, Rose, and for inviting me to do this. A focus group is the opportunity to bring members of a community, of an aggregate or a population that shares some common experience, bring them together to explore their perspectives on what has happened to them and what services they might need, what policy might come out of their experiences, those kinds of things.
Okay. Yeah. And how many people do you normally have in a focus group?
6 to 10 is a very nice number. It can go a little bit more than that, but if you go too high, then people don't get a chance to really participate as much. Yeah.
That makes sense. That makes sense. What experiences do you personally have conducting focus groups and with survivors of sexual assault or other types of violence?
Yeah, I have a fair amount of experience with focus groups, with women in particular, women who've had experiences of violence, women who are living with HIV, women in Wisconsin, women in Malawi, women in Kenya. So it's kind of a strategy for collecting data from groups that works not just in the United States, you know.
Right. And how did you decide in some of those cases to use a focus group over doing interviews, especially when talking about with victims of violence?
What we found, especially in Malawi, because that's where our focus was more on women's experience with gender-based violence, that actually being in a group to talk about painful things or intimate, sensitive topics, that being in a group with persons who shared some of those experiences made it easier and safer for women to actually speak up. And we found it was easier for them in a focus group than it was in individual interviews, because we've done that where we used both data collection activities. And what is really wonderful about focus groups is that they're synergistic in that it's not just one person's experiences or ideas, it's what they share and then what the other people around think of that